Hi, my name is Kylie Devendorf, and I am doing my model project on bulk flow and filtration in the capillaries. Capillaries are the smallest of blood vessels that form a network between the arterioles and the venules. An arteriole is the smallest branch of an artery which connects into the capillary that collects blood from the heart and sends it into the capillaries. At the other end of a capillary is the venule. A venule is a small vein that collects blood from the capillaries and sends it back to the heart. The process of blood traveling through the capillaries is a very complex and busy system. It is in the capillaries that fluid, gases, nutrients, and wastes are exchanged between the blood and the body tissues via diffusion. As blood travels through the arterioles towards the capillaries, it undergoes filtration first. Filtration is the passage through a filter or other material that prevents the passage of certain molecules, particles, or substances. Capillary walls contain small pores that allow substances to pass into and out of the blood vessel. As you can see, two substances that are filtered out of the capillaries are nutrients and oxygen, which are then given to the body's cells. At the other end of the capillary, certain substances are reabsorbed back in. As shown, carbon dioxide and waste from the body's tissues are two of the substances being reabsorbed back into the vessel. Within the capillaries, there are 5 types of pressure exerted. The first type of pressure is capillary hydrostatic pressure. Hydrostatic pressure is the force that is exerted by a fluid against the capillary wall. It is created due to the pumping of the heart. Hydrostatic pressure helps the movement of fluid between capillaries and interstitial fluid. This means that the net fluid moves out of the capillaries and into the body tissues. Another pressure that takes place in the capillaries is osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure is pressure applied to a pure solvent to prevent it from passing into a given solution by osmosis. To more simply describe it, this means that the net fluid moves from the body tissues into the blood vessel. The third pressure exerted within the capillaries is net filtration pressure. Net filtration pressure is the pressure that determines the movement of fluid between capillaries and interstitial fluid. It is the difference between the hydrostatic pressure and osmotic pressure. Net filtration pressure focuses on the filtration and movement of fluid across the capillary walls. Also, in relation to net filtration pressure, net fluid movement occurs when fluid moves out of the body tissues and back into the vessels. Next, we have blood colloid osmotic pressure. This refers to the measurement of pressure put forth within the cardiovascular system by proteins found in blood plasma. Preserving the proper pressure ensures that the body tissue maintains the correct levels of liquid and that too much liquid does not escape from the capillaries. This pressure promotes reabsorption. Reabsorption is defined as the act or the process of absorbing again. When referring to bulk flow, it is the movement from interstitial fluid into the capillaries. Reabsorption occurs when the blood colloid osmotic pressure is greater than the capillary hydrostatic pressure. The last type of pressure is interstitial colloid osmotic pressure. Interstitial colloid osmotic pressure is the force exerted by protein molecules within a tissue of interstitial fluid. It becomes low when interstitial fluid contains small amounts of suspended proteins. Interstitial fluid is the solution that bathes and surrounds the cells. It is found between the cells of the body that provides much of the environment contained within our bodies. There is also another type of capillary found within the body. They are called the lymphatic capillaries. Lymphatic capillaries are tiny, thin-walled vessels at the smallest level of the vessels in the lymphatic system. Lymphatic capillaries are located in the spaces between cells which serve to drain and process extracellular fluid. After fluid is taken into the lymphatic capillaries, the fluid is then called lymph. Lymph is then carried throughout the lymphatic system through a one-way drainage apparatus and then finally drained back into the circulatory system. Within the lymphatic system, there are areas called ducts, which is where the pathway of the lymphatic system essentially ends and then the body's circulatory system takes over. There are 2 ducts involved in the lymphatic system. One is the thoracic duct and the other is the right lymphatic duct. The thoracic duct is the largest of the body's lymphatic ducts. It collects almost all of the lymph that circulates throughout the body. It is 16 inches long and it is located in the mediastinum of the pleural cavity. The second duct is known as the right lymphatic duct. The right lymphatic duct drains lymphatic fluid from the right thoracic cavity, the right arm, and from the right side of the neck and head only. It is located near the base of the neck and goes along the medial border of the anterior scalene muscle at the side of the neck. The right and left subclavian veins also play a role in the lymphatic system. The right subclavian vein is the right side of the major vein that drains blood from the upper extremities and returns it to the heart. The left subclavian vein is the left side of the major vein that drains blood from the upper extremities and returns it to the heart. The difference between the left and right subclavian veins is that the left vein connects with the thoracic duct, which drains lymph, while the right side is not involved in lymph collection.